Hello, hello, this is Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts. Welcome to my channel. So, I'm all about organizing right now. Destashing too. I am very excited about destashing. This is not my destash. This is the ribbon, lace, and fibers I'm down to in the brownish colors. And also with kind of that burlap stuff that I have. I need to pass some of that along to somebody like Tammy, who loves burlap. Hi, Tammy. So anyway, I wanted to just give you some tips, how a few things that I've kind of learned along my way. Now, my drawers are well, let's grab one. Hang on, I'll show you what's organized so far. And let's see. Oh goodness, here it comes. This is not the only drawer. I have 2.5 of these filled now. Oh, no. 3.5. So this is my pinks and oranges and yellows. I don't have a lot of yellow. I love pink. I swear I didn't, but I guess I do. So my husband is 100% correct. She loves pink, he says. And so I do. So a quick tip for me. This works for me. I needed to get all of my lace, my ribbons, and my fibers into one area, because I had a little bit of fibers over here on my right side, and I had more on my left side, and you know, it just wasn't working. So I wanted to show you this, how I did this. And I put my smaller ribbons a lot of times together in the color theme, because I know I can use these for little dangly things. Forgive my brain. It's in auto mode of some kind. And I also knew that I could use these fibers with it. And so I put them all together instead of fibers in one drawer, and these kind of cloth type shoestringy things in another drawer, and all of my ribbon was just, I tried separating it by the bag last year in a plastic bag. That does not work for me. So one of the really quick tips I have for you right off the top is cut as much cardboard as you can if you're using cardboard. Now we're going to switch gears on that in just a minute, but I did want to tell you that make sure you have pins that are sharp enough to go through many layers of ribbon or lace or whatever you have, because some of these get pretty darn thick. I'll put that back in a second. Like here, this is really thick. Now, I bought these really cute pins because they had a flat head on them. And I thought, well, gosh, that's going to look really cool and make it very nice. And so I used them, but not too sharp. They sound sharp going in the here, but I'll be honest with you, the heads break off really simple. And, you know, they're just honestly, if I had to give a review on these pins, I'd say don't buy them for pinning things in. They're probably great for just maybe like if you're having to pin felt down or something like that, or a quick pin, but for a permanent, the heads on them are very, very thin, and they break right here on the plastic part of the pin where it goes into the head. So I don't recommend these. Now, I did find that I had these. Now these are great. They're just little tiny pins. And they work good for the tinier ribbons. They go through the ribbons and the cardboard very well. But they're short. So if you have a big thick piece, you're not going to be able to use that. And a big thick piece like this, getting through all that. Oops, that goes in my other place because it's not big enough to wrap around here. The other thing is that these heads do get caught up on each other as you're pushing it through, so they really were not flat enough. You're better off to go with like a quilting pin, although those are pretty long. And I did find some shorty drits. These are not stainless steel, so hopefully they don't rust. But what I found as a workaround was, let's see, oh, it's not in this drawer. I thought it was. Anyway, I got 200 of the flat T-pins, and those worked wonderful. Absolutely. They are a thumbs up in my book. Let me see if I can find one that has a T-pin in it for you so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Right here. These are a T-pin. And I got the 1-inch ones because I didn't want them to be too long when they went into, you want them sharp so they don't run your ribbons, create a run in them. So that is my first tip, is to get the right pins. Now, if I'd have put this in just a little bit better at a shallow angle, because I want it to go into the board I've got behind it, getting them to lay flat is a good idea so that they don't hang up when you're putting them in and out of the drawer. My second quick tip is you don't want your pin to come through the cardboard. You want to run it just under the cardboard so that it's not coming out on the other side. And the reason for that is when you reach in and pick one up, if it's coming out the other side, you're going to get poked. So save yourself some owies and get the little shorter pin and then, you know, run them shallow. So that's my second tip. Now, my third tip is to buy. When you're doing your boxes, I cut some with the cardboard running this way, which means there's a hollow in here. You want to try and cut them this direction and not this way. The reason is because when you put that pin through, it can run in this hollow place where, you know, you can pin it through into the hollow place so it doesn't come out the other side. If you run it the other way, it's got to go through all those little bumps and grooves, and it's hard. Makes it really hard. So that's a good idea. Make yourself a template. This template, because of my drawers, is 11 1/4 by 7 1/4. That is so that they go down in the drawer and fit. They do have a little space on each side, but you kind of need that. I did some that were 11 1/2. This is a 12-inch drawer, but remember, that's just the outside. It's like, let's see what the inside is. The inside is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 long, 16 deep, and they are 12 inches wide. Well, it says they're 12 inches in here, but believe me, they're really not. And then I think they are, let's see, I have to measure over here. They are 8 inches tall. So I made this a little shorter because as you're rolling it around the top a whole lot, it gets taller and taller and taller up here. So cut your template a little smaller. Now, if you run out of cardboard, I have a better solution, actually, than cardboard. You won't have to stack boxes all around your house, saving for just the right size. I went to using this Ghost Line foam board. It comes in 22 by 28 inch pieces. They are 3/16 of an inch thick. They have thinner ones and they have fatter ones. I went with the thinner so that you could still get a pin in it but not take up a lot of space. So the Ghost Line, that just means there's a ghost print in here of you know, a quadrule, whatever you call that. So it's got a grid on it. So, and they are a 1/2 inch a piece, half inches apart, 1/2 inch apart. So anyway, I highly recommend going to foam board. With this size, the 7 1/4 by 11 1/4, you get 6 pieces out of each of your foam boards. And if you get them at the dollar store, as long as you can get the 3/16 inch thick, they'll be cheaper at the dollar store, $1.25. And you get left over with this long piece that is approximately 5.5 inches tall. So if you're not wrapping pieces as big as I am, then you could go to something smaller. And you know, if your drawer's smaller or longer or whatever you have, this would work perfect. This would even go into a dresser like this, you know, like if you had a dresser. So you could put it in there and use it for wrapping ribbon. Now it will wrap shorter ribbons, which, you know, if I wanted to take the time, I could do that. all of my short ribbons, or, you know, ones that can be cut into tag pulls, they're all up in a jar over there, and I really like that. Okay, so what's my next tip? Oh, cut out at least 12 of these at a time. Not this. This. Now, a con about the foam core board is when you are cutting it, especially this direction. Let's see if you can see that in there. It's looking at everything else. Anyway, you can see that it kind of chips out of there, and then you end up with foam all over your table and everywhere else. So that is a con to using it. However, one of the solutions that I have is just sweep it into the garbage. That was easiest for me because I have an excessive amount of ribbons. And, you know, drawers full. So, if you don't like that, you can cover these. This one is covered with just paper, and then I put corner pieces on each one, like that. I had to glue 2 pieces of paper together to get the right length. And then I just put these corner pieces on them. These are the corner pieces that I cannot get to glue on to my books, but I glued them on here just fine. Figure that. So, the only thing to be aware of is if you're going to decorate them, remember, you're going to pin into them, and it's going to leave holes. And the glue could possibly make it a little harder, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. So, and here it is when the pin is taken out. So it's not bad. So you could do that to dress them up a little bit. I didn't put too much glue around the edge because the foam inside would just start sucking it up. So I really glued the back and the fold over. And you just have a piece of paper about a 1 inch bigger than your piece, and then you clip the corners just like you were going to do a book cover, and you fold it over, and then you cut a piece to fit on the top. Now my pieces are not perfectly square. That's okay with me. I'm just trying to get organized. So I'm not going to take the time to do that with these. However, if I was going to put something in my Etsy shop with, say, ribbon on it or lace, I might do this because it would be cute. Or not. Anyway, so there is that. What else? Oh, if you don't want to cover the whole thing, but you don't want that darn foam leaking out of there, then I was thinking that you could probably use some washi tape. What do you think? Should we try it? The washi tape might help. You will have to glue it. I mean, no doubt about that. I think we want it to be just a little longer because we want it to go over the corners. And let me go up here. I just used art glitter glue on this. And the reason for that is that I didn't want it to melt my I didn't want to melt my foam if it touched it. So that's why I'm just going to lay that flat. I don't think that glue stick would hold this very well. Otherwise, I'd just use glue stick. Now, before I press it down, I just want to even it up a little bit. There we go. And then, let's see. I think we will clip this like this, and then like this. I think we'll probably fold that over. I'm not really sure how to get a nice clean line this way. So, like that, I suppose. And then come in here and do one. And then come over here and do the other. I hope you can see what I'm up to. So you could perhaps do this, and I don't know, you know, might get something grand out of it. I don't really know. I'm just guessing. So, if you didn't want to glue the whole thing with paper, then I would do it this way. And then, of course, you have to get all your glue off of it. It's coming around the edges. But, that would be another way that you could cover your board. And then if you wanted, you could go ahead and put those metal pieces on it if you so desired. Off there. So anyway, just some ideas. Let's see, what's another tip I have for you? Oh, most important tip of all is do this before you collect so much you don't know what to do. Because I was at that point, everybody. I was at that point. It was my breaking point. It really was. I had had it with all of my problems here with my organization. So, anyway, most important tip of all is don't wait till it gets to the point where you're just like, I've had enough. You know, just take care of it so that you can enjoy your space without all of the hassle. Okay, so there we've got a corner done. I'm not going to finish the whole thing. But if you wanted to put a little corner thing on it, now is the time you could do that. You do have to find them that are fat enough in width right here to go over your foam core. Now mine are still a little bit too small, you see. So what I did to get them to fit good was I stretched both sides. This one does not want to stretch. There. Use a tool. That makes it better. I widened it out, which really should make the metal a little bit softer. And then this is where I used my glue. This is Fabri-Tac because it works good for these kinds of things. And then you slip it over, push it together like this, and then I do have to say it does squish down into the foam core. So there is that. Oops, look at that. I bent my foam core. So the foam core is pretty soft. So it will kind of squish down in there. But every time you squish it down, it pops out on the edges. So that one did not go in so well. So you might want to get a little wider ones that actually are the width that they should be. Or use the Tim Holtz ones that just fold over on the back and they're perfect. So just some quick, simple ways to decorate up your ribbon things. But hey, this doesn't look too bad this way. Oh, another tip is I did leave the tape on the ends. That told me where the ribbon will start coming undone. Because sometimes I would have several layers of ribbon, same ribbon, and you know, off different spools, but the same ribbon. So I would have, you know, some of them have 8 pins in them because I had lengths of ribbon to wrap around, and that's all I had was one length, but then I had another length of it. So you can end up using quite a few pins and needles in your pins in your project. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that I gave you some good tips. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I may have an answer for you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.